man, like waking up today was hard, but like once I put on some EDM music, I am stimming away. Like I will dance the night away. And people have their different ways of stimming. Mine is dancing. I think it's the most healthy way. This event would really help people who like to dance but don't like to talk either. Sometimes I like to go to parties and I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to dance. And then you have those people that want to come up behind you and like, hey, but it's like, I just want to dance. Can you just back up a little bit? I'm just trying to like,
okay, throw that. Okay, yeah, no. I'm cooking over here.
Right, I'm literally cooking right now. Like my brain is actually in process of like releasing. So my way of stimming is dancing because I get to release all these emotions.
Check. The places of the time is now. You are tuned into The Lunch Table. You got your boy Savo in the building. I have a special guest, a very special, interesting guest, one of a kind. If you can, please introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Selena Rubino. I am a chef and a dancer.
We have Miss Selena Rubino. She has a very, very interesting story, a very interesting message that she wants to share to the people. I like your vibe. I think your occupation is very interesting. I think what you infuse with the job is very dope. It's very dope.
Thank you.
Can you give the people some insights on what you're dibbling and dabbling in at this time?
All right, so I'm currently a private chef, caterer, food vendor. I'm working on wholesaling to restaurants, and a private chef, obviously. I feel like I mentioned that. But
say it twice so y'all remember, gang.
Yes, that's the main thing that I do. Yeah.
Caters and everything, hey, you got a birthday party, a random Sunday, birthday party, events, weddings,
graduation,
anything. If you want someone that's gonna cook you some good food that's actually good, and you want somebody, to boogie with you, pop live, while the DJ going down. Hey, I mean, one-stop shop, really.
Yes. So my business, it's called It's Actually Good, and the story behind that actually is when I was in culinary school. So I graduated culinary school last year in October, so congratulations to me. Thank you. So I actually had a lot of trauma in culinary school. I was kind of homeschooled in and out of school in high school because I wasn't necessarily the person people liked or wanted to talk to. And I was the type of person growing up where I was always out there because everything always interests me. I liked talking, I liked acting, I liked doing all of that stuff. So I was out in the open, and usually when you're out in the open, you're susceptible to being judged. And I was judged harshly because, it's high school. So
Question on that. And I'm going to interject and ask questions, but I'm definitely not going to be too intrusive. I'm going to let you get your thoughts out. But you say you weren't accepted, or you weren't necessarily in school for being you. Was it a racial issue, or was it people that just didn't think the same as you? Was it, what was it? Can you give an example?
Definitely personality clashes. So before I was diagnosed, I'm neurodivergent, by the way. So we think...
That's next.
We think and do things differently, but growing up, I didn't really know that, and people didn't really know me, and they couldn't figure me out. Because of that, people felt awkward around me. So I feel like a lot of the times, because when you're kids, you're not emotionally intelligent, you kind of just dismiss the things that you don't understand. And so that was my experience. But besides that, I was in and out, so my social experiences were kind of limited, and when they weren't, they were not exactly good. So I got to culinary school because I really liked to cook. And before I went to culinary school, I went to Northwest for a semester, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like college because I don't know, I just wasn't passionate about it, and I just feel like I had so many side quests that I wanted to figure out before I figure out what it is that I wanted to do, because I had so many passions. And so I joined the circus before I went back to school.
Really?
A circus, yes.
As what?
A dancer, and we did hula hoop acts. Yeah.
That takes a lot of skill and discipline. People hear circus and they think, oh, clown. That takes a lot of skill and discipline. No. Circus is real deal shit. Performing, no, bro. No. Performance.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Performing, bro. The the Harlem Globetrotters is like a circus low key, but think about the level of skill and discipline to be able to perform that precisely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Night in, night
dope
out.
shit. Dope shit. I fuck with the circus.
I do. I do too. I remember I didn't stay in for long though, but I was a tarot reader as well. So I did tarot readings in the circus group. I forgot about that. But anyways, I did a lot of things. I did audio engineering for a bit. Shout out Fresco Recording, Fabio, he's amazing. Shout out to Ray and Raya, who are performers. They like to do hula hoops, lyra, whatnot. We were all kind of in the circus group together in a way.
What was the duration of this circus tenure?
When was this? I think this was 2023. Yeah, this was 2023. And I was only in that for like 2 months, and then I just left. Actually, I got kicked out, but but anyways, so I did acting. I worked behind the scenes. I did so much stuff because I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do, and then after that, I was like, wow, kind of like living that artist life is not for me. Like, I love artistry, and I carry it through me every day, but to do it for a living, I don't like it. It's the timing. It's working with artists, other people. It's kind of frustrating, even though I just love it. It's something that you look at afar and you admire it, and you try to cultivate that in your everyday activities, not just like, you know.
I was gonna say that. It seems as if with your occupation now, with your business, you've incorporated art within that.
Exactly, I have, and I feel like that's a really good balance. Shout out to Balance Universal. But yeah, as I was saying, after that, I realized, let me just go to culinary school. Let me see what this
my
is.
dog, man.
Yo, what's up? Yeah.
That's my dog, man. Shout out, man. But not culinary school. Yeah.
So I went to culinary school, and because it was just one program, I thought I could just focus in on that. And so that was my trade for a while. But in culinary school, I went through a lot. I went through bullying. I went through pressure.
In culinary school?
This is after high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking about these people, these are grown-ups.
Yeah.
These are adults. Bullying.
Yeah, I swear
Can you
to gosh.
give me I can have examples? But
Look, I can give you one for days, but okay, for
I
instance.
need it.
So, man, so
In
for
culinary
instance,
school.
I'm being honest. I don't see why somebody would bully you. I'm not
How did
catching
they
it
have the
now.
time to? Y'all all cooking.
all right, let me tell you, we're definitely cooking each other. We were burning each other with
Aw.
insults. Like, I mean, so here's the
Stand in front. Stand in front.
Okay, so
Come on, stand in
basically,
front.
okay, we're good. So, my culinary teacher, he was hard on me a lot, because I was in and out of school. Social interactions was something that I was inexperienced at still. So talking to people, it was kind of a struggle, you know. I usually would overtalk, and so I wouldn't let people speak, stuff like that. And so I didn't really know what it was like to be with humans in a genuine way.
And it takes certain people to understand and give you that grace and that patience to where it may seem as if you're over talking, but it's just like you have a lot of thoughts and context in your ideas, and you want to make sure everyone can understand you completely. So you have this thing to get out, so people can receive, so people can really understand what you're trying to say. Correct?
Yes. Some people cannot receive that. My culinary teacher, though, wasn't interested in that. He didn't really give me grace in my learning process, and so it took me a little bit to finally understand what it was like to work with people, because I was always a loner, doing things myself. I've always felt like I just needed to prove myself all the time, so it's like I never talked to people about my plans. I'd always just do it, and the problem what people had with me is I never asked to do things. I would just do it, and I feel like that was also why we had a lot of, you know, conflict in culinary school.
Ask as far as what? Asking to do what?
Anything, like if I wanted to use an ingredient, if I wanted to
because we're not in culinary school, so we don't know what's the do's and the don'ts. Like,
Yeah.
what are you not supposed to ask? Like, what
um
are you supposed to ask? You know?
So like if we're all following a recipe, we're supposed to follow the recipe. Before I understood what it was like to actually follow the rules, I would just do whatever I wanted. So
Improvise.
yeah. That's because that's just what I did growing up, and that's what I knew of. And so when we did get the chance to improvise, to compensate the fact that I wasn't listening during, you know, actual class, you know, he would kind of pick on me and stuff like that, which is, I understand, but it kind of got too far. Like once I learned my lesson, it was just one of those things where he wouldn't stop. He would take opportunities away
Like,
from
hey,
me.
bitch, now you being petty.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely would embarrass me in front of class. It wasn't exactly a great experience, but I learned so much, and part of that is the reason why I still do this, because a lot of people could say, like, every time I tell people these stories, they're like, you know what, I probably wouldn't have went back. Like, I'm not going back, but it's like, I love food too much to just let it go, and I've learned so much from food, and that's why I combine art and food, because I feel like I said fart. I feel like art and food is like my oasis. So food is what grounds me, and art is what carries me through it. So I just love how those two go together. And I like the fact that I was bullied because I earned so much discipline. Like, I remember he would always get on me for not wearing hats while I made food, right? And so there was a lot of things that I learned throughout the whole process that I didn't know. So I was just this artist lingering around dancing, but now I'm stationary but still dancing in the lines, and it's just like, it's a beautiful story that I could tell anyone. And like, there's just so much that happened in culinary school, but I can just say, like, I appreciate everything that's happened, even if it was bad.
Well, let's stay on culinary school, and it's not necessarily things that you picked up from culinary school, but of course you as a culinary artist yourself. What's your favorite thing to make?
Ooh, okay, so we definitely
or if it's easier, I don't mean to cut you off. Or if it's easier, what was your favorite thing to make in culinary school?
Okay, cool. Well, the guava cupcakes. So everything that I made was my recipe. Usually people in school would just kind of look recipes up online, but because I wanted to carry this throughout after culinary school, I decided to just write all of my recipes during culinary school and try them out in class, because, like, you know, that's what you pay for. And so I was really adamant about making my own. So I have these guava cupcakes. I sold them yesterday, actually, at this really cool ball. They have this tropical filling. They have mango, orange, papaya, lemon, peach. I mean, like, everything you can think of, it's in that puree, and then I stuff it, and then I frost it, and then it was a cupcake bar, so I had, like, dried fruit. I had figs, I had dragon fruit, I had fresh mango, fresh plums, I had glitter, Malden salt, which is pretty expensive. I had pork belly, so I would, like...
I saw you grilling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, she was cooking, and then, you want some? Okay.
Speaking of that, so I have this thing called Grill and Groove.
I have questions of that. Damn, you're doing the interview yourself. She's going through all of my questions. I have culinary school questions. I have grill and groove questions. I have the festival questions.
Okay.
So the cupcakes. You like making the cupcakes?
Yeah.
Yes.
What you like to make?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I like making cupcakes. I'd say there's this bowl that I have called Rhythm Rice Bowl, and it's a pumpkin coconut. I'm Panamanian, so a lot of my culture is, you know, Jamaican influenced, Caribbean influenced, you know, mixed with Latino influenced food. And so for my dad's side, I shout out to my abuela, actually. I love you so much, abuela. She's all the way from New York, so if you see this, hey.
Sup, B?
But anyways, but yeah, it's pumpkin coconut rice. It's a little bit of sweetness to it, but a nice little, just a small kick from the ginger. And then you have jerk chicken, which is where you really get the kick from. And then this Indian curry sauce, and then yogurt mint sauce to, like, top on. And then
Question. Going back to the whole culinary school, you said guava cupcakes was your favorite dish to make, favorite meal. What was your least favorite thing to make in culinary school?
Let me think. Honestly, it wasn't really the food. It was more necessarily the techniques. So prep, like peppers, onions. Like, if you were assigned to prep duty, it was like, I gotta cut like 500 freaking onions in quarter pieces. And then also, no, it's julienne. It's julienne carrots. If you have to julienne carrots, I feel so bad. Like, your fingers are
I thought you were speaking about somebody's name. I thought you was talking about somebody named Julianne.
It's a cutting style.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, these small strings. Man, I wish I had a picture, but
I think I saw it on Instagram. Is that the one you posted on Instagram?
Kind of like matchstick.
You posted something where you was like, you had hella different carrot sizes. I'm
yes,
like, she cut all that shit?
It. Yeah, different. Yeah. Brunoise. I forgot the other ones. Bâtonnet. You got all those cutting styles, but yeah, my fingers would be orange for days after cutting carrots. So, like, if you're cutting carrots, wear gloves, because That is key. But other than that, I really like to make everything. Like, I don't have a specialty really because everything interests me. Like, I made cupcakes, but I'm not an amazing baker. I had someone help me out. Shout out to Rachel who helped me out yesterday. She's 18. She's in culinary school herself, and she wants to make a sustainable bakery, which is amazing because I'm not seeing that around here. But anyways, she helped me frost my cupcakes. They looked amazing. It's on my Instagram if y'all can check it out. It's actually good. My Instagram right here.
It's actually
good. Yes. What else did I like to make?
Before we get there, stay on the culinary questions. Can I ask what's your favorite thing to make? What's your least favorite thing to make? What's something that you can make in your sleep?
That's a good question. I'd have to say. Okay. I'm gonna have to say a Mediterranean stew. You just roast a whole bunch of vegetables, blend them up, or you had to de-seed the peppers and the tomatoes, obviously. But yeah.
All right. Well, easy. Let's transition on to it's actually good. And I say it like that because I noticed how you spelled it in one of your posts. I don't know if that's the actual the spelling of it, but I think that's how it's meant to be pronounced. Not it's actually good. No, it's actually good.
Yes, that's literally it. Oh, that was the story that we were talking about. Why is it called It's Actually Good? It's because when I was in culinary school, when people would try my food, that's all they would say. At first, I would take offense to it because I just felt like a lot of people underestimated me because I didn't really know what I was doing, but no one really knew either. But because of the fact that I'm so vulnerable to life and how I show it, I am a target, unfortunately. But you know, a lot of people underestimate me, but I love being the underdog. So I love when people taste my food and they're like, "Wait a second, that's actually good," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I mean,
it could
also give me a chance."
It could also be that they know that you're in a trial point. I got you. Yeah. It could also it could also be that they know that you're trying at this, so they don't know what to expect. You know.
Yeah.
Rather than just, oh, I don't think she's gonna do this, but you know that okay, what do you think about it? If you're presenting this as something that you're experimenting or trying on, and shocking people, it's actually good. That's a good thing.
It is, and that's why I transitioned that mindset to like, you know what, this is a good thing because it's interesting, and so it's either half people are gonna love it and half people are gonna hate it, and that's okay. Speaking of which, sorry.
No, okay. Go ahead. We have a pocket for that.
Yeah,
go ahead. I just want to know.
Telepathically.
Go ahead.
Speaking of which, I wanted to also talk about how art and food mingle, but how they don't mingle. So, in the events that I've done so far, it's kind of been a little bit of a tug and pull trying to figure out how much food to make because you don't know who's going to buy your food at the end of the day unless you have like a catering, which is like paid for already. But when you're food vending, you have to try to figure out how you can sell out. And so the thing that I've recently learned was that I can't have an artist mindset. With an artist mindset, it's like, do whatever you want and people are going to follow. And that's kind of always the mindset that I had growing up because I just thought if you could just attract, everything would be great. But balancing that out with food and food costs and all that other stuff, I had to take in consideration that with food, this is not about you. This is about other people. You're doing a service to others. And so it's not, I'm going to make this and you're going to eat it. It's more like, what are people going to like? And how are you going to mix in your own personality with that for it to be digestible at the end of the day? Because how are you going to make money if your food is not digestible? So
if it gives you the runs. I try to support someone. That's one of the reasons why But sidebar, I supported someone that cooks locally. Went to an event. I want to say it was a block party or something in there. But they had a station. But I wanted to support this one in particular because just wanted to support. Dog, the burners went out. I want to say like minutes, like some time earlier, so it was sitting for some time. But I still wanted to support. But that shit gave me the runs today. And I'm like, y'all, I'm not eating nobody's stand no more, man. I ain't doing this no. This is what I get for supporting local. Yeah. This is what I like. This what happens. Yeah. But nah.
Leave a tip or something. Let me just donate a little money to you. I don't want food.
Type shit. I'm there with it.
What always happen when you give like a really good tip? Like the food always ends up being something wrong with it. Like damn, like I really wanted to give you that.
Yeah. But like you were saying, I think we were saying like at this point, like to even not to even go there, but to still support, I just pay. Hey, how much cost? Just take that. Oh, you want to? No, thanks. But I'm not like that, no. But that was definitely an experience that I won't forget. That I supported someone and I paid for it in more ways than one.
That's definitely something that a lot of people in the food industry, we kind of go through, especially at food festivals. You kind of really just have to take a chance at the end of the day. I remember I went to a food show, and I was assigned at the seafood station. I switched immediately because I overheard some people talking, and they were like, oh crap, like, did you leave the shrimp out overnight? And they're like, oh yeah, and they're like, just put it up, like, it'll be fine. I'm like, no way, did they just do that? And I'm just saying, everyone eat the shrimp, so I'm trying to warn everybody, like, don't eat the shrimp, don't eat the shrimp, don't eat the shrimp. And it was just like, it was sad because that's unfortunately how it happens. I mean, when people are dealing with food, you know, they have to take in food costs, and a lot of time when you become a business owner selling food, sometimes it's about the money. Like, you're not even focusing on the food, and that's the sad part about it. And then you might even, this is why you need to get your ServSafe certification, because you need to understand the safety precautions.
Say that again, so they get you and they catch that for the people.
When you are making
certification,
preparing food for people, you need your ServSafe Manager certification to be certified for you to sell food.
ServSafe Manager certification.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Explain more about that.
It's a little bit it's kind of easy. Not really. You have to study. If you don't study, you're gonna fail. They like to have a lot of trick questions like food temperature, time zones, you know, ready to eat foods, how long you're supposed to have food out. You know, the times that you're supposed to clean your cutting board. You know, you're not supposed to put your knife in the dishwasher, stuff like that. There's so many rules that go into food. Sometimes we're like, oh yeah, I can make food, but there's a difference between a home cook and a chef. And I'll say that again. There's a difference between a home cook and a chef.
Speaking about you being a chef, you specialize in holistic meals. Can you give the significance and why that's so important to you in actually nourishing people?
Woo! Okay, so I would consider myself a spiritual person. I feel like everything has some type of meaning to it. And so when I think of food, that's the ultimate meaning of life. I mean, food creates life. We create food. Woman, we literally create food from our breasts. That is amazing. I actually saw this lady. She was selling...
Nigga. Yes. Nigga, that's the first food.
I know it is, but I just never thought to myself, yeah.
Every female species, yes.
That's crazy. I never thought of it like, oh, it's food. I had titty milk in a while, so it's just not on my mental like that.
That's so funny.
Wow.
There was a woman, she was selling breast milk. I saw on the internet the other day, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool, but I don't think I'm gonna drink your breast milk. I'm sorry, but hey, she's making money, so like, shout out to breast milk lady.
She offered it to you?
No, it was online. It was online.
Oh.
Hey! I don't even, what were we talking about?
Breast milk. I mean, we are.
Before that, I
We're talking about food and how food nourishes, holistic, spiritual. Yes.
Okay.
Women are the first ones to create food.
Through the titties.
Yes. So, I definitely find the importance of praying over people's food.
That was the next question. Go ahead.
So, I do a thing, not at every event that I serve my food at, because there's a time and a place. At the end of the day, I am selling food, so I don't want to like push people away when I'm like, let me pray over your food, because like, you know, when you're walking down the street and there's that one guy with the sign like, Jesus loves you, nobody looks his way. Like, I always say hi, by the way, but like, nobody looks his way, and I don't want to be that person who's like, let me pray for your food. So like, I do this in private events and private settings where if I'm at a yoga retreat, shout out Stacey Vaughn for having me at her yoga retreat. That was amazing. One of my first events that I did last year, I had a Mediterranean soup. It was like this jalapeno oil.
The easy meal, the meal you can do in your sleep.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Anyways, but I like to do it in private settings, so I like to grab their hands and look them in the eye, and I don't rehearse this because it's whatever I feel in the moment and whatever I feel like they need to hear, but also just something to make sure that the presence of where we're at is not compromised by anything else. So I don't want the food to be compromised. I don't want anything else to interfere with what's going on, which is the food, because I feel like when you're present, when you're eating, food is healthier. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you can eat a freaking Big Mac. Okay, I had somebody from culinary school.
Hold on. Are you about to tell me how you can eat a Big Mac and be healthy? You got my attention. Do
Yo,
tell.
shout out to Aaron. Yo, so Aaron was like a bigger guy, and he really liked food. I mean, he wanted to own a sandwich shop. I don't know what he's doing now, but I hope that he's still working at that.
But that bread.
Yeah, literally. I told him, he was like, I want to eat healthier, and I was like, oh, I got you. And I was like, you know what? Let's start out really small. Let's just put turmeric in your tea or your water. We'll start out from there. It'll balance out your liver. When I tell you, I have a little bit of acne right now, but I haven't eaten turmeric in a while. So, like, once I start eating turmeric, it cleans out my liver, which is also connected to your face organs. So it clears it up, which is amazing.
For the viewers that has no clue on how to consume turmeric, can you give some suggestions?
Yeah, that is really good that you asked that, because Aaron put turmeric on a Big Mac. All right, he came from school, like lunch.
This is a healthy
So she comes back from McDonald's, and we're all eating. I think I was eating the tuna salad. I freaking love tuna, but I can't eat everyone's tuna. I kid you not, I'm not eating your tuna. Like, if you offer me a tuna at your potluck, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. That is too weird for me. I don't know about you. Oh my god, I once had some guy eat tuna from the gas station, and that was just his favorite thing to get. I was like, yo, are you okay right now? But anyways, he came back with a Big Mac, and he was just putting the turmeric over it, just a whole bunch of it. He was like, her, and I was like, dude, it's all over your face, but like, that's not doing anything right now. And everyone was just clowning him, and that was like the funniest moment that I had in culinary school, was when I told him to eat turmeric and he put it on a Big Mac. I was like, this is gonna work. Like, I can feel it. And then he went to the bathroom after, and I was like, all right, I guess it worked, maybe. But anyways, but how can you consume turmeric? Not on a Big Mac.
Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit.
In your tea. Definitely in curries. Oh my gosh. Sauces. You can put it. I like putting it on my avocado, with some like other seasonings. But don't put it on a Big Mac. That's all I gotta say. Soups. You can really put it in anything. I usually put it in a lot of my savory foods. You can do a face mask. So I have this Aztec clay mask that I use for my face, and I put turmeric in there. It might stain it for a little bit, but it goes away. But it's really good for your hair as well. So there's different ways you can apply it, but not on a Big Mac.
Hey, not on a Big Mac, but that's our turmeric, the turmeric lesson, turmeric tutorial.
Yeah.
For this particular week. We're gonna take a break from there. Of course, we speak about the holistic foods, so we're gonna get back into you personally and you living with autism. Can you share your form of autism and just explain autism for the people that the viewers that may be ignorant on the diagnosis, the spectrum that is, but just give what you have to say on this particular subject for the people.
All right, so autism is not a disease. It is, it's an intellectual disorder. So how you think and how it's all in your head. So when people go like, you don't look autistic, it's not really something like Down syndrome where you can see it, but it's something that's going on in your head. And I was actually misdiagnosed with bipolar at first. Which I didn't really resonate, and it took me a while to really understand why. And a lot of health advocates, counselors, therapists, I just don't, in my area that I live in Crestview, by the way, but in where I live, there's not a lot of good choices for, mental health advocates, unfortunately. And so I went to a white woman, which no shade to white people in the healthcare system or whatever like that, but I also feel like as a colored person, a colored woman,
I have touch the Western.
A little shade.
I don't, and they don't fully represent Black women. I feel like Black women are the most dismissed in the healthcare industry, anyways. And so, a lot of Black women are diagnosed with bipolar, misdiagnosed most of the time, and I was a victim of that. And so, it took me a while to understand. I was put on medication, which didn't really help me. I remember for months I lost the love for music, which I really want to talk about music next, but I lost the love for music. I wasn't interested in a lot of things, and the medication kind of messed me up. And basically, she diagnosed me with bipolar was because of the fact that I told her about my moods and how they go in and out. But it was my moods were more of a trauma response for the autism. And so there's different types of autism. And I'm actually in the middle of being diagnosed right now, but I am neurodivergent. So neurodiversity is ADHD, it's autism, OCD. There's much more, but it's a spectrum. So as I'm being diagnosed right now, I have to say, I don't know, I can't tell you if it's a level 1, level 2, level 3, I'm not sure. But I do know that in my experience, socializing is probably the hardest thing for me to do. In learning settings, because it takes a longer time for me to process information, and something that's so fast-paced like culinary school, I mean, that definitely messed me up. People don't understand that. People don't give you grace. And
really quick, you say you don't know what necessarily level you're on as far as that metric, but let's make our own metric. Let's say, this may sound ignorant, but I think it's funny. Are you from the range of autistic and autistic AF? where do you lie?
I'm gonna just say a standard autistic. I don't know.
Some people that's autistic AF.
I wish I could answer that, but I guess so. I guess some people experience it more. Some people are, need more care than others. I know some people that literally have to go to therapy to actually be able to speak.
AF.
Yeah, so I'm definitely not like that. Shout out to Trailblazer on Instagram. She's one of the people who have autism that needed a little bit more assistance growing up to be able to function in this society.
Non-verbal type.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of which, autism has also helped me in many ways. Because I'm autistic, I think things deeper. That's why it takes us a long time to process information, is because we're not just thinking the surface level of the subject, we are diving in. So it's like, you can ask me, could you open the door? But for me, I'm like, how many steps do I have to take to the door to turn the knob? Do you turn it left or right? Do I open or push? It's not just one thing. I had to think of everything. And so it gets frustrating, but it's the best thing ever when you're creating, because my creativity and autism.
My next questions. Go ahead.
They just fuse together, and I was called the mad scientist in culinary school, because they didn't know if I was crazy or if I was actually cooking something. There was something going on.
That's what makes them say it's actually good. I know it's good. She doesn't follow the recipe, but it's actually good.
Really quickly though, because I was going to say, can you explain, if so, certain struggles that you would have had, but you just explained how it may become difficult or may be frustrating at times, so you went into that yourself. Like I said, you're running over the questions that I have for you, but that's great. You kind of went into it, but I want to toss it at you and have you just knock it out of the park. But you can correlate it to you and cooking. But as far as you and having autism, has it helped or hindered in any way? In either of those ways, if it has helped or if it has hindered you, can you give me examples of how when it comes to your business?
Oh my God. So I think both. So in a way, I'm going to say hindering at first, because time management is kind of hard for me, being neurodivergent, man. It's like you think you have enough time, but you really don't. And it's like, you need to get that, because in this world, people are not going to give you grace, because people have money to make, people have times, families, all that. Time is money. So,
and time don't wait on nobody.
Exactly. And so because my body doesn't get that yet, my mind is fighting with my body, and it's like, dude, you know this, but you just keep on. So when it comes to events and whatnot, I usually I over prepare myself, because I really don't want to show up late, because I feel like that's unprofessional. People are not going to want to hire you again if you show up late and whatnot. So I tend to over prepare myself in situations like that, because I don't want my business to be represented bad. But when it comes to artistry, I have so many artist friends in Pensacola. Honestly, we might show up late. The event starts at 7? We're all going to show up at 9, right? So it's like
What time are you scheduled to actually go up?
9:15. Oh. But look, that gives me time to do my stretches, you know? But I don't know. I guess I've seen a lot of artists that show up anytime they want. This is their show, I guess. But that's another reason why I just kind of stepped out, because I'm like, I cannot be professional and still, I don't know, be flowy, I guess. Like, it's a hard balance, is working with others as well, because some people are not on the levels that you're on, where it's like culinary school grounded me to where I have more discipline, where other artists that I've worked with don't, and they don't understand that concept of time yet, which I'm still trying to understand myself. So it's like, you know, being professional, I feel like that's the number one issue I feel like with artists is being professional. We don't get that because we have so many deep feelings, and so we just react with emotion, and that's not always a great thing.
That's a skill. Being professional is a skill.
It
You
is.
have to learn.
It also takes emotional intelligence. Honestly, if you don't have that, you should not be running a business. But I was
I
gonna.
say you shouldn't be interacting with people in general if you're not emotionally intelligent.
I agree.
Go hide under a rock.
Oh.
Go hide for real. But yeah, this is great.
Oh.
Let's speak about Grill and Groove. We're gonna replug that, and we're going to give that some lights. We are going to go back into autism. Well, no, let's stay there because you said how it hindered. Let's speak about how it helped before we transition.
Yeah. So I feel like it's helped me because I want to be able to show people like me that you're able to run a business and you're able to make money on your own terms, because working a 9-to-5 being neurodivergent is almost impossible. You can't really work under people because we don't like limitations. And so with that being said, you know, working for other companies, there are going to be limitations. There's going to be boundaries that you just can't cross. And me, like I said, I will do it. I won't ask. I will just do it. And I want it to be on my own terms. And so I want to be able to show people that you can honestly live this life on your own terms. I mean, yes, there's rules to everything, but like some rules are meant to be broken. And I feel like with autism, as a collective, we are showing people how they can live their best lives by breaking these societal rules that we just place on ourselves that don't really exist, really. But I feel like autism has helped me with, like I said, creativity, food. I honestly, like, recipes, I can make them up on the fly. Like, all I gotta do is sit there and just, like, meditate, and then it just comes to me. And I feel like another thing with being autistic, I wanted to touch on that, is that
Go ahead.
there's a difference between an evolved autistic and a non-evolved autistic. And usually with the non-evolved one, we're a little bit immature when it comes to, you know, reacting to things, because we just say what's on our mind, and it's not always great for the setting that we're in, because, you know, there's just some things you just can't do and say, and it makes people uncomfortable, and you have to understand that. And I feel like when people don't understand that and they're being told that countless of times and they're not getting it, I feel like that's a part of the immaturity, because it's like,
I have the same philosophy for Christianity.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand that. But no, actually, touch up on that a little bit.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, but like, it's like, sometimes autistic people are like, this is just the way I am and you're gonna have to accept it. But I feel like in order to actually be able to unite with people, because you can't do it by yourself, you need help, especially being autistic. When you have a processing disorder, you can't do everything yourself. You need help from other people, and when you're pushing them away and you're making people feel uncomfortable, you're not able to tap into their vision. You're not able to, like, a lot of times I was talking to my friend Balance, and he told me, he was like, you know, I honestly see myself in people's interactions more than when I'm by myself. Like, I like hanging out with people so that I can study myself, which is not, I don't think it's a narcissistic thing. I think it's a beautiful thing, because we're all mirrors in a way. So being autistic, I feel like that is a perfect stage for you to figure out yourself, because it's kind of hard for us to figure out ourselves. We don't really know what's going on in our heads. And so when I'm talking to other people, and that's why I always had a problem growing up with talking to people, because it always was an interview where I just talk, because like, I'm just looking at you to look at me, so I'm talking and seeing myself in their perspective, but I'm like, let me get to know this person, because I'm just talking about myself. But anyways, I think
if you do want me to give context on what I was speaking about, my philosophy as far as the whole Christianity analogy, as far as evolved and just the regular, like you said, autistic person. Yeah, I feel like the in correlation to the regular or the evolved, it's the regular people that feel like the imposing Christian. They feel like, hey, if you don't, you're going to hell. You don't, like those people that's newer to it and hasn't evolved, rather opposed to the evolved person that, hey, I'm secure in what I believe in. I can accept that you may believe in something different. We're all aiming towards the same place, so I can't say that your way of worship is any less significant than mine. I think that's more evolved. But yeah, go ahead.
I agree with that. I love that concept. I didn't grow up in any religious community. My parents taught me to learn about other cultures and learn about other religions and see what resonates with me because they wanted me to be free.
It's very confining, yes. It's very confining.
Definitely. They were in religions themselves, so it was one of those things where they wouldn't want to wish that on anyone. But yeah, shout out to my mom and dad, by the way. They've helped me in so many ways. They're always checking me on, my flaws and whatnot. I feel like every parent is, but I feel like they've really accepted me when no one else did growing up. And so I definitely do appreciate them because they've invested into my future so much. And I'm so glad to actually have two parents in my home. So, because I get the balance of, shout out balance, but I get the balance of masculine and feminine energies. And I definitely feel like growing, like me right now, what's funny? I told him not to mention this. I was like, we were talking over the phone. I was like,
you ain't got to. We don't have to. But if you want to go ahead, that's on you.
I know.
Remember, you did it.
I was like, please don't mention my age. Please don't. And he was like, look.
And I didn't hint at it one time.
What, are you like secretly 40-some years old?
No, I'm secretly 14 type shit.
No,
I'm about to say, what?
I'm 20 years old, almost pushing 21 in August.
Nobody did, yeah.
Don't tell me
I think people...
But I get it. I get it though, because all 20-year-olds have to go through it. Like if you haven't lived a certain point of life, people all automatically deem your credibility at zero. Like you don't know what you're talking about. You didn't live. But no, everyone experiences different.
20, because you don't know where you're at.
And we were just there, so we're not gonna judge you. Oh, she's 20. Even though there's some truth to it, but we understand everyone is different. You may be 20, but here you may be 55.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Age is just a number. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, it's experience.
Not just that, but yeah.
Okay, hold on. Don't put this in the. Hold on.
No, that's too late. I told you.
Don't put this. Don't put this in the podcast. Please, I didn't say that. I don't mean like that, but I mean it as in like your experience. Your experiences gives you wisdom. It's not your age. It's the wisdom that you get. But anyways, so I was saying that my parents, yes, they've definitely grounded me in so many ways, and I feel like at this age right now, I feel like I'm benefiting from having a two-parent household because of the fact that with what one parent's not going to catch, the other one is. One's teaching me how to be a woman, and one's teaching me how to be, grounded and, stand for what it is that I want and have to say. And so I definitely do appreciate that balance. I was going to move on and talk about some people that have inspired me because I feel like...
Well, let me set up the question. Hey, Miss Selena, who are some of your inspirations in your life when it comes to you just existing and creating and cooking and dancing and flowing through this this rock that we call Earth? Who are some of your influences and motivations, if you will?
Okay, first person I have to say is... No, there's no rank because I don't want people to get weird. But I have to say, Kid Cudi. He makes amazing music. His music really empowers me every day when I get into the car. It's
dope for me hearing that because like Kid Cudi's been around for as long as you've been born. And it's crazy they say that now, but time goes that fast. Like, dude, I remember when he fucking released Day and Night. We all remember when Day and Night came out.
Wow.
Like that was when you probably a nutsack was like then like dog, but it's 20 years later.
Maybe not nutsack, but she was probably at least maybe like 4.
No, that was like 20 years ago almost. Well,
that's what I'm saying. So she was probably almost. Yeah, almost. She was probably like 3.
We have time, of course, the computer here. We can look it up, but this ain't the Kid Cudi sex. But what I'm saying is, what you're saying now, as far as Kid Cudi, he had that effect on people when I was in fucking middle school and elementary. It's like his music still does that.
Still
That's dope.
Forever.
That's dope.
All right, let's go.
Go ahead, my bad.
Another one is Willow Smith.
I love Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden's really cool too.
Willow.
I love Willow because she's so authentic and she shows herself with full. So like, she isn't afraid of vulnerability. That's what I have to say. And I am not afraid of vulnerability myself. And so when I'm listening to artists like that, I just feel so connected to them because, you know, in everyday life, you're not going up to people and having these deep conversations. You know, you see people you walk past, or the fact that I don't know you two, like, I like what you do because of the fact that you give people the opportunity to be vulnerable in settings like this, which is why I wanted to be on this podcast, because I feel like you guys truly respect vulnerability, and you try to, you know, keep it in a safe place. And so I definitely respect that. Shout out to the lunch table.
Appreciate that.
I was gonna say though that yeah, Willow Smith, she's a vulnerable artist. I love her, what she talks about, you know, and especially Jaden with his you know, his water company, whatever he's doing with
Water in a box.
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. What's it called? Just water? Something like that? I think it's just water.
Yeah.
I think just water is his.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought one?
I have.
Yeah.
I'm a spring water type.
Tastes like
I'm-
water.
Yeah.
Tastes
I
like
keep
water.
it the same with mine. I just get great value spring.
Yeah.
Okay. It's cool as long as it's not sink water. You're doing good, you know, or purified. I like putting Celtic salt in your water. So here's a fact, which I can look this up, but Celtic salt has minerals, magnesium, zinc, all the good stuff in it. If you're just drinking water, you're not exactly getting all the nutrients you need. Whether if you put what is it called? It's called, stop it, minerals.
Minerals.
Yeah, minerals. Yeah. So when you I suggest that when you drink water with that has magnesium or zinc, salt water. I'd say
Redmond's real
Himalayan.
salt. That's what I use.
You use what?
Redmond's.
Redmond's?
Redmond's natural salt. It's kind of pink. It's almost like Himalayan salt, but it's not Himalayan salt. It's Redmond's real salt.
Okay, I have to see about that. How much is it? The pack that you get it.
I don't know, but I know I bought like 2 or 3 bags of it, and I still use it. I have it in a little container, little wooden, one of those little salt cellar things. Like,
Sorry, it was on my mind. I had to get it out my system. Kid Cudi, Day and Night came out in 2008. Okay.
yeah, I was about to say, I mean, she was alive, but she was
but
like
she's a
3 or
baby.
4 years old.
Yeah, but as it came out my mouth 20 years ago on a dot didn't sound accurate, but damn near
Yeah, it's close.
20 years ago.
I knew it wasn't no 20 years ago.
But
it was
dog,
close.
that's damn near 20 years
It's
ago.
close. 3 years off.
That's crazy. That's fucking
You
crazy.
old ass.
But we're gonna get into grill and groove.
I got a question.
You had a question?
I gotta
Okay, go ahead, bro.
I have to leave here in a minute.
Oh yeah, you got work. Go.
I gotta go to work. I'm about to be late. This is cool. Once my phone opens up, no, it's okay. Here we go. You want to do the questions for
Go
the
ahead.
audience?
I already did. We already said you had a question.
How are you able to narrow down your passions to cooking and make that your career?
Okay, because of the fact that I'm good. So that's number one.
Talk your shit.
So like, because of the fact that food has brought me so much, it's brought me so much success, and it's brought me so much heartache, and it's brought me so many life lessons. That's also told me itself that it's like, this is something that you're supposed to bring to the world, and that you actually can share, and people can take that, you know? If it's not me that you take, it's the food that I just made, you know? And so I brought it, I realized that it was meant to be a career when I realized that I actually can be taken seriously, and that my food is serious. It's serious work. So I'm just like, you know what? I wanna leave a piece of me to the world, and I think food is my outlet to do that.
I have a suggestion. If you do gotta go, how about let's do a taste test of you guys' case.
Let's do that.
You guys can do that.
I'll save any other questions I have for later.
Ooh. This is not official technique. This is lunch table technique.
This is on the fly. We are on the fly with it.
This is all you get for $2 type shit.
Yeah. You want the real experience? Go and subscribe to her YouTube. Follow her on Instagram, and you can see
That is actually good.
that it's actually good.
This is some ghetto stuff right here. I'm using a plastic spoon. But it's okay.
I might cut that out.
Okay. Alright.
There you go.
So, because this is cream cheese frosting, this won't hold up pretty
It's
well.
cream cheese.
Yeah, it's not buttercream.
That's cool. That's fine.
And while she does that,
Do some
Trey, you want to
B-roll.
introduce your treat?
As you guys know, here on the lunch table, your boy Trey also stays in the kitchen. I do a little bit of everything. What we have here is tres leches, a 3-milk cake. So it's got the 3 milks being whole milk, condensed milk, and evaporated milk. It has a whipped topping of heavy whipping cream and sugar, and then a little bit of cinnamon sprinkled on top. Traditional
You should try cardamom.
cardamom.
Yeah.
And I'm learning something. There we go. Oh, look how pretty that looks.
That's alright. It's cream cheese, so it melted a
There it
little
goes.
bit on the drive here. But
That's fine.
it's okay. Okay, here we got some dried fig.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's what I was
that fig
hearing.
Traffic before.
Last night. Boom, pop it on there. There we got some rosebuds.
Rosebuds.
Yeah. These
Double
are
interesting.
bougie cupcakes.
We don't have any of that here. Just the 3 milk part is supposed to impress you guys. Presentation is not as pretty as hers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Little shaker
Yeah,
sound.
tight shit. You know, little 3 milk tight shit. You feel me?
Type. Get in there.
There it goes. And you gonna make me not want to eat it by the time you finish. So pretty.
Thank you. Alright. One more.
You got it. We good. Just rip it off.
Which color?
I like purple. She's like, fuck.
You can eat that. What does it taste like? I can pick it up with me. I don't really care.
Yeah, you can use it. That's fine. I'll eat it either way.
I'm gonna also give you yellow.
That's cool.
And then one back here. Okay, we're good. Alright.
I'm doing a close up on it. Shit, keep away that.
Yeah.
Keep away. Just like it.
Okay, we're holding. Wait. There you go.
Shit. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah. Can you pass me that?
Yeah.
I'll just use
I'll
this.
give you my
I'll
fork.
use it. Okay, cool. Ah, she brought a spork. I love sporks, guys. Fork and spoon. It's fantastic. Oh, it's a little mini one too.
Best
Nice.
of both worlds.
Let's see here. Mine has a lot going on with it. All of this is edible.
Oh, let me do a quick.
Yeah.
I'm doing another
All
close
this is
up.
edible.
Doing another close up.
The rosebuds, it's a little bit, interesting to chew, but it's edible.
Now, real quick, before I eat this, what would be... I just want to make sure I enjoy the experience the way it's meant.
Yeah.
Should I have a little bit of everything
Oh
in
my
one
god,
bite?
yeah, but the toppings, you don't really have to eat
Okay.
everything. It's really just the cake, the frosting, the cake, and the filling that I have in it. Oh, there's no
Okay.
filling in it, so yeah,
That's right. So
forgot.
frosting in the cake.
There's no
I
filling
do
in it.
want to try it all together, but I want to make sure this first bite is the full experience. So let's see what we got here.
Wait, is there any nuts in this?
Any what?
Nuts?
Nuts.
No nuts.
Yo, why you pause for so long?
Because I thought she
I
said
understand what you
nodes.
said.
Yeah,
I heard what you
nodes.
said. She didn't know. He
I
didn't
You're
can
allergic
hear
to
feel
nuts.
the
nuts.
allergic reaction as you pause, like.
I thought she said nodes. I was like, nodes? She using culinary talk. I don't know what the fuck she talking about.
I should have said maybe.
I would have just fake died. Woo!
This is nice. And the cake is very moist.
This is moist. Got that 3 milk. That dress milk.
Look at this.
Leche.
Mmm.
Let's get one of these roses in here.
Oh!
One of these rosebuds.
Really, it's the fig. Y'all slipping on figs now.
Yeah, see, I'm a little nervous about the fig. I'm saving it for last, so.
I mean, the rose don't really have a great flavor. It has a flower note in there, but it's, you know.
It's an interesting chew.
See, I'm saying.
You did say it would be an interesting chew. I'm gonna just push this rose to the side and get to this fig that you've been talking about.
This is good. I haven't eaten anything today, so.
Yo, no, the rose does, like, okay, the rose is interesting chew. When you chew on it, because the softness of the cake and the toughness of the rose.
Oh my god, I have the filling.
The slight toughness of the rose throws you off, but the taste of the rose.
She said you ain't you haven't tasted it yet.
She said you ain't had shit yet. Wait till I put this stuff on it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let her finish getting it right.
This is that tropical puree that I put inside, but I forgot to do that. So we're just gonna, yeah. Okay, we're good.
Wow, there's a lot going on here. It makes my tres leches look weak as fuck now.
It's good though. It's simple. Look, simple never fails. Oh my god, though. It's so good. It's not too soggy, because one thing I hate is soggy food. Like oatmeal, like... But this is so good. Oh my gosh.
This smells like something that should be like this is almost like a pie filling type. I like this. I really like the filling. The cake is moist. The filling is nice. The cream cheese on top is nice. It feels very... I don't know the correct terminology, guys, so I may be wrong here. It's got a very aromatic type of, like,
when you leave here, I'm gonna
to
need you to look up the guy that taste tests ice cream, the professional ice cream taste tester. Look that shit up.
Is that how? Is that the vibe I'm giving right now?
Hilarious.
It's a nice little...
Like he does that. Like he just does that shit. He just takes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Very soft. Very moist.
Yeah.
Cream.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
I'm back in.
Let me get this fig though. I know that's what the people really want to see me do.
Done. She done. That shit's gone.
Oh shit! It is. Isn't
yeah. See, I put different types of fruit on there. So I had grilled fruit. I had grilled plum yesterday, but I only brought the minimum. There was a whole bar worth of food.
Wow. That means that I'm not even breaking into... I'm not even scratching the surface of what this could be. Yeah.
The
There's
plum
so
is
many
my
different flavors
favorite,
with this.
but there's no plum in it.
This is nice. And the fig, I was sleeping on the fig. I'm going to take this fig with me. Well, most of it. Fire.
It's actually good.
Fire. It's actually good, y'all.
That's good. That was a good idea.
Amazing. That cake was good.
No, yeah, usually do this thing. Let's talk about the gig that you were booked for last night, the Fancy Faye Ball. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. How was your experience? What happened? We already talked about the pork bellies, the serving them. Let's speak about what happened last night. How was your experience?
Man, it was surreal, honestly. I'm so glad that I got the opportunity. Shout out Ashley Long for throwing the ball. It was at Brick and Bragg Clandestine, a Latino club. They play a lot of reggaeton and stuff like that on Friday, Saturdays. I think they teach salsa on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, if I'm not mistaken, but y'all should go check that out. But anyways, it was a really cool ball. I have to say that, like, I was planning on actually making 200 because 200 people were coming. There was a lot of people that went. Tickets were like $50, so I just thought, yo, bougie cupcakes with people who are paying money to go to a ball, yeah, go hand in hand. So I definitely, and shout out to Ray for even giving me the opportunity to speak to her. But it was great. A lot of stuff that I learned. People loved it. I got some reactions. I always like to make reaction videos just because it's good for the business. And I also just witnessed just people talking. Like, people would walk past and be like, did you try the cupcakes? They're so good. And so, like, I love to hear that because, like, it just means I'm doing good. Y'all are doing good. I'm glad you're enjoying yourselves. I love it when people are happy when they eat my food. I feel like I've accomplished life when people are happy. I think last night, one of the things that I didn't do was, like, people were like, do you accept Cash App, Venmo, stuff like that? And, like, I have this thing from Dot. Shout out Dot. It's a little card on my phone, so when you scan it, you literally don't even have to go to your camera. You just press it on your phone, and then it shows up. And I have all my payments on there. I have my website. I have like contact information. You can share it. I forgot that I had that. So when people were asking for payments, I'm like, yeah, I'm answering every single one when like I was really should be focused on frosting the cupcakes. It was one of those things where I needed a banner to put my QR code on, which I had a QR code, but I guess I forgot to bring it. So like one thing I learned was definitely have a banner. As a business owner, you need to advertise yourself in the smartest way possible. I see a lot of people having QR codes on their car. Perfect thing ever. I did that once, but it wasn't big enough. But like the other week, I remember this guy home inspecting. I think that's what he did. He had his number on the car, and he was swerving in and out. I almost crashed into him. So I called the number on his car and was like, "Yo, you're driving like shit." No, I didn't say that, but like, I was like,
Yeah, you did.
no, I didn't. But I called because I was like, this is unacceptable. I was like, y'all need to handle that. But I think it's really good to have your information on your car. Not when you're driving bad. If you're driving bad, don't even bother because you're going to have people like me. Okay, we're going to call.
Let's get back to the beyond the event last night, but going back into Grill and Groove. We're going to speak about how you cook and dance and serve it all together. Integrating dance into your culinary practices. We're going to emphasize that for a minute. Can you expound on the dancing and cooking synergy?
OMG. Okay, so I am a dancer. I grew up dancing as well as with food. Like the first time I walked was for marshmallows. So like you already know food is a big factor in my life, but dance, oh my gosh. So wherever you see me, I'm dancing somewhere. It's how I connect and it's how I socialize with people. If I can't talk to you, I'm gonna dance with you. And so I feel like that's one thing that I know. That's probably the first thing that I knew as a child was just dancing and food. And so I incorporated a dance into Grill and Groove because I wanted to incorporate art and food. Like, okay, I keep on saying the same thing. Let me get more into it. Like, let me chill out. So, so I feel like when you're just eating, a lot of the times people just eat because they have to. And I think I mentioned this before, you're not present in the moment, right? So when you incorporate in this enthusiastic energy of dance, it's more like you're in the moment. When you're dancing, you're feeling yourself. You're in your body. You know what your body needs. It's also, I think, is a nice little spiritual code in having your body tell you what you want. So if I'm dancing and cooking, all of that energy is just infusing the food. And so I've made up Grill and Groove. And actually, my friend Ben, he goes by BT Wubs on Instagram, shout out him. He sent me this post by Let Him Cook Radio, which they're also on Instagram. And it's like this cool trailer. I think it's a food truck. And they have space for a DJ. And basically, they have people in the back just setting things on fire while the DJ's just like, just going in, right? And I'm like, I love EDM. Okay, hold on. I love EDM. It's my favorite type of music. House music, techno. Oh my god, techno. Trance, dubstep. You think of it, I like it. It's amazing. Bass and drum, rhythm. Anyways, all other stuff, I love it. So when I saw that post he sent me, I was like, I have to do it instantly. Not even a week later, I was like, all right, we're throwing an event. And so like, I threw an event because I was like, dude, imagine me dancing while cooking, and then have it out that like, let's do hibachi style. So let's just cook in front of people. Like, make it a freaking show, okay?
What do you have to say to the people that say that would assume that, hey, wouldn't that be distracting, multitasking? Wouldn't that deter away from your focus on your priority? What do you have to say to those people?
I don't have anything to say. If it's really it's an interesting thing. I don't see that going on around here. So it's like, if it's not your style, it's not your style. But if you like dancing and you like food, here I am right here. Like, honestly, who doesn't like food? When you go out to restaurants, there's music in the back, right? There's musicians, okay? You always have entertainment where you have food, or most of the time you do. So it's not distracting. It amplifies the moment, you know? And if you think it doesn't, then I don't know what to tell you. Go home and eat your green beans, something. I don't know. But I was going to say that Grill and Groove has inspired me to do much more things. So Spectrum and Spice. I have an Instagram page, and I haven't posted anything on it yet, but it's in the mix. So first time talking about it actually to the world. Spectrum and Spice is for disabled folks. So it's an event that I'm creating, but also a movement. On the event side, I want there to be a space for disabled adults to party, because like, you're in a wheelchair. You might not be able to go in the middle of the club and rave out. You know what I mean? Like, that's not always the case. You know, you might be deaf. blind, whatever the case may be, disabled people, like, they don't have as much opportunities as everyone else does.
Oh, damn. I just thought of a blind, deaf person, Raven. I'm sick. I have a sick mind.
You're not sick. You just you envisioned
I have a
it.
sick mind because I want to laugh at it. That's why I was sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I have no comment. But I was just gonna say that, like, I want to be able to, because not many people are capable of throwing an event like this because, like I said, they're disabled. So if we can get a person like me who's, semi-disabled, I can function, right? Autism is a disability. So, but if you have someone like me that can offer this, I think we need more of it. So right now,
that's dope.
I know. So I'm trying to incorporate so many people into this project. Nonprofit organizations, vendors. I know there's this one guy, I forgot his name, but he makes toys for people with ADHD. So like fidget toys, you know what I mean? That we're gonna have fidget toys. We're also gonna have a kissing booth, and I wanted to step into this just for a second, but disabled adults in the dating room. It is hard.
All my questions. Go ahead. Go ahead. I had Spectrum and Spice and everything. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, we're both prepared. We're both prepared.
Do your thing. Go for it. This is great.
Okay, so it's kind of hard for people who are disabled to date because there's just not going to be a lot of people that are going to be willing to deal with you. You know what I mean? And people don't have to deal with you. That's the number one thing. People don't have to deal with you. So like, being autistic, especially dating with men. So I'm bisexual. I like men and women. But for some reason I feel like because of my disability, it hasn't really helped me a lot. I feel like most of the time I'll either get three types of people that are into me. They might think that I'm naive, which is just how I come off. That's my default. But I'm not naive. But people think that way. So I might attract people that might want to take advantage of me, which is not a good thing.
That may have a lot to do with your age too.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There's no, yeah. But also it's a personality thing too. It's definitely because I'm the type of person. Well, I will go up to you, hug you, just very open. So, people might want to take advantage of that. And then there is the manic pixie dream where men want this type of woman that is, I don't know. It's like they want their perceptions of what they think a woman is in this woman. So it's like if you fit their type, then, they're in love with you. But if you do one thing that doesn't align with their perceptions, they hate you. So I feel like with being autistic, they either love you or hate you. Or, it's back and forth because you just show so much. It's like, I don't even know what to think. So like on one day, I could be a completely different person. And on the other, it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And it gets confusing. So, and, a lot of people who are high masking have this problem as well because when you haven't fully accepted yourself yet, a lot of the times you might copy stuff that you see on TV because that's the only thing that you know because you don't really know yourself. You don't know who you are.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, so it's like, it's kind of hard for us dating. I'm not going to lie. So I have a kissing booth. I have a speed dating booth at this event coming up for disabled adults because I think we need a place for people like in Hinge. Oh my God, I don't like online dating. It is so weird.
I deleted all my apps a long time ago. But through my 20s, that was where I lived. But I deleted it when I turned 50.
I was banned. I mean, I was selling my tarot readings on there, and they were like, "You can't do that." So they took me. I was like, "Love readings, $20." Yo, I swear to gosh, I was getting bank.
Get your hustle on.
But yeah, no, I don't like online dating because it's not authentic. It's you can easily fake stuff. It's not real. I feel like online dating has definitely influenced this culture in such a negative way because we're not empathetic at all.
It's like DoorDash for dick and pussy. No, that is. Like, you're not going to find love on that shit. It's just a means to waste your time and just DoorDash for dick or pussy.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah.
Uber it,
You know what it is? Like you order food, go on your shit and go through DoorDash or Uber and go, oh, that looks appetizing.
True.
Yeah, that's all it is. I had deleted that shit a while ago. Now all my social media is strictly for business.
I respect that. I respect that. I don't. I feel like with that type of dating culture, we're not as empathetic with each other as we should be, because it's like when you're when you're in person, I'm seeing you as a human being. You exist now, and it's like I have to treat you as such. Over online, it's like you can do whatever, you can say whatever. It doesn't matter. I can swipe right on you and not. I just forget about you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it values.
You're not a tangible human being. You're this little pixel that's on this device. You know what I'm saying? This device is meaningless. So you're just an NPC, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that delusion is the downside of this, and I think that causes a lot of people to just look at reality skewed and kind of dumb. But yeah, that's my intrusive thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. We're conversing. I love your perspective of that. I think the same way. I think I said it in a different way, but I feel like especially if you meet the person online and then you'll actually go out, it's not a bad thing. I don't think so, but like it also, I feel like it gets a little bit more nervous because like if you're not careful, if you weren't honest over the phone, they might be expecting a certain person out of you. So when you actually meet, it's totally different. So it's like I personally, in my opinion, I like natural interactions where I meet you in person, because now it's like you know me, you see how I act. You know
You
when
gotta
I'm
be careful with that too.
yeah, probably in the
Sure.
club scenery too, because I mean, I had one friend. I don't know if that's what you were saying, but that just brought me to another subject.
Just meeting up with people in general.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that. Just meet. I don't. Of course, I did many of times, but yeah, it's not smart for anyone to just randomly just meet people. Just especially online date. Like these people are crazy online.
Yeah, that's another reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another reason why online dating is a little bit scary. Definitely, there's so many stories. Like my mom, she sends me all the time. She's like, I'll tell her I'm going somewhere, and like the next thing I know, it's like, did you know something here happened there? And it's like that's what moms do, right? But it's like, I don't know. Like without my mom, I'm probably oblivious to a lot of the stuff that goes on. My mom's like the main one telling me like, hey, you gotta stay safe of this, stay safe of this. You know what happened over there in Oklahoma? Just just random stuff. So like, shout out to my mom because she's educational.
She cares.
Right. But yeah, I definitely meeting people online is something. I don't think I've ever done that. No, I don't think I have. I'm trying to remember. I can't. But club scenery. So I had a friend, amazing friend. I'm not gonna mention her name. But she definitely changed my life. But she's from another country, so her country is a little bit more safe than here. So I remember we went to the club together, and she tried to go home with this guy. And I was like, oh, no, you can't do that. And he was like, oh, I'm not from here. I was like, well, yeah, she's not from here either. He was like, I'm from Tallahassee. I'm like, okay. Like, she's not from this country, so she doesn't know how this works. So definitely, I don't need you, influencing her to take you home. Okay, take her home with you. And I guess my friend didn't get that at the time, and luckily I got her home safely. But she was just willing to go. They just met that night, and they were having a fun time. I saw them looking out for my friends. I'm the type of friend where like
Cop blocking.
No.
I mean, shit. If she was down, let her go. I'm playing. If she's grown, she's an adult. She found a man she rocking with. Did he give off any red flags?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You made a good friend.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, don't stop her shine now. But yeah, if you saw things that she couldn't, for sure. But if you was like she just having a good time, man, y'all grown.
The definitely red flags. The red flags were there.
Okay.
Especially in the club scenery, so there's a difference between rave and clubs, right? And so let's say if I meet someone at a rave.
It's more like a hunting ground in the clubs. Like people go there to hunt.
What? I was thinking the complete opposite.
No, people go to the clubs to hunt.
Oh, I thought you meant raves. Yeah,
No,
clubs.
no,
Okay,
no.
cool. Yeah. So people go to the clubs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's predator territory. Yeah. Okay, at clubs. Raves, it's safer. I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, still cautious, but a little bit safer. Everyone kind of cares about each other to a certain extent. But anyways, going back to meeting people, autistic, neurodivergent talk. Okay, so
Spectrum and Spice, Kiss and Boo.
yeah. So like I said, dating has been hard for me as well because a lot of the times I've gotten this so much too, where it's like I show so much to a person where it's like if it's a person that doesn't also know themselves, they want to mirror me. So then we're both just kind of like, what is going on? And I never really actually get to meet the person, which is also scary because I don't think it's right when you date people if you don't show your actual self. I feel like you're lying to them. You know, you're doing them a disservice and you're wasting their time.
Yeah.
If you're not for, and that's what I love about being autistic is that it's another part of autism where it's like you're going to do what you want, you're going to say what you want, and you're going to be who you are, and that's going to be the first thing people know about you. And so
This may be irrelevant, but just from my experience in just life, if you are around people, if you have some type of rapport, relationship with someone, and you notice that, or you tend to find out that they haven't been their authentic selves, I believe, or in my experience, I believe that those people initially had some type of objective with you, and they played the part to accomplish that particular goal, and they may have known the authentic selves, though their authentic selves wouldn't be adequate to reach that particular goal, so they had to play the part, or say or do
to get what they want.
Yeah, for sure. And that happens a lot.
No, I've experienced that before.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that. I have to say though, yeah, there's two sides to that coin. Like it's either you don't really know yourself and you're really just trying to figure it out, or you do and it's like you don't want to show that because you want something from them. So that's the dark side of dating. But
That goes back to those people that's on the hunt.
yeah. But I was gonna say that with man, I don't even know where I was getting with that.
Dark side of dating. Talking about spectrum. No, I keep saying that shit. We're not talking about that. What we were saying was shit.
See, it doesn't matter. It'll come back later, maybe.
Go ahead.
But yeah, dating being autistic is a really cool thing as well because you will definitely have people showing their true colors, whether they're trying to fake their colors or not. You can sense it. So I guess that's the good thing about dating is that because you're vulnerable in those situations, people will either try to, be vulnerable or take advantage of that, and you can tell the difference, which is really cool. And so definitely it's like a magnifying glass being autistic. It's a pretty cool experience. But anyways, I have a kissing booth and I have a speed dating booth, and it actually was inspired by Ayla, which she is a performer. She does Fire Flow. She's amazing. She had a BDSM event hosted in Crestview, which is crazy because I've never been to one, and I attended my first BDSM event for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Sound a little spicy.
It was.
Let me shut my mouth.
Yeah, and that's why I'm calling part of the Spectrum and Spice event Nero Spicy, because like that whole section is inspired by Ayla. So she wanted to, bring awareness to sexual positivity, which is really cool. And I don't know, I like to go to different things, so I just thought, my friend was really the one that was like, hey, you should come, and I was like, okay, cool, like, let's just do it for the plot, okay? Let's just go. So I went, and I was inspired, because, wow, I mean, this could do so well. But anyways, I met this guy, he's gay, by the way, and we didn't know each other, but there was, like, a speed dating game where they ask couples a question, and you have to answer it at the same time to see if it's the same answer. But we didn't know each other, so we thought it was funny if we did one. We didn't win great points, but we won some. It was like, I think it was like we scored like maybe 20 points.
I mean, we didn't know each other. What did you expect? What were you really expecting?
I don't know. We could be like telepathic. You and Trevor over there like, but that's because you know each other. So never mind. But
and because I mouthed what I was saying. Cause and it's certain If he's sitting there, I'm sitting there. He does this to his phone. He has a question.
Yeah. True. I take that back. But I was gonna say that I guess it was one of those things where I wanted to try it. It was really fun, but with that being said, I was getting somewhere with this. Yes, the BDSM event inspired me to do speed dating activities.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you to Ayla for that, because you've inspired me. And going back to the people that inspired me, I know I said something about Kid Cudi, Willow Smith. I have to say, Echo, she's a photographer. She makes amazing work. She's done my 80s rave fitness exercise pics, which are really cool. I had like roller skates in them. She also did Grill and Groove. She took pictures of that, which was an amazing event. I also had Jeremy as the videographer. There's so many artists that inspired me. I know I said Fabio. I have to say Elizabeth from The Ground Up. She inspires me so much. She has so much knowledge about plants and Earth, and I just feel like a lot of people can benefit from a workshop from her about, you know, planting your own at home because, you know, I feel like it's about time we all become sustainable in our own backyards, and it'd be really cool to have a society where
Until
we're
they
all...
lock us up for it. But yeah.
It's probably gonna happen.
I do have a question though before we veer too much off. All right, so it goes back to you, and I don't like calling it disability, but people say what it is. It's about you stimming.
Okay.
Feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Could you elaborate on the importance of stimming for not? Go ahead. You know what I'm gonna ask. Take it away. Go ahead.
Okay. I told you guys in the beginning that I really love EDM music. When I tell you, so it's actually harder for me to get up in the morning, and for a lot of neurodivergent individuals, because we don't have a bunch of dopamine in us when we first wake up, which no one does, but it's lower. So, man, like waking up today was hard, but like once I put on some EDM music, I am stimming away. Like I will dance the night away. And people have their different ways of stimming. Mine is dancing. I think it's the most healthy way. I don't know, people like to fidget and whatnot. Going on a drive is also a stim for me. But I was going to say that this event would really help people who like to dance but don't like to talk either. Sometimes I like to go to parties and I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to dance, and then you have those people that want to come up behind you and like, hey, but it's like, I just want to dance. Can you just back up a little bit? I'm just trying to
Okay, throw that. Okay, yeah, no. I'm cooking over here.
Right, I'm literally cooking right now. Like, my brain is actually in process of, like, releasing. So my way of stimming is dancing, because I get to release all these emotions. Because, we have to we need ways to express our emotions in a healthy way. I can't always talk to my friends about this, because at the end of the day, it's just me, right? So if I'm dancing by myself in a field, like, that is my way of, letting out all of the stuff that's blocked in my chakras.
Good question. How do you believe storytelling and positive affirmations during food preparation affect the overall dining experience?
Ooh, okay. So I've worked in many, many restaurants, and I have to say one thing what was like constant was the fact that people just made food just to make it, no thought behind it, and usually people would make it like pretty pissed off, which is not a problem. You can have your emotions, but it wouldn't be in a good intention. They would I'd say take it out on the food, but don't take it out in a negative way, because that's going into people's mouths. Like, we're so the most vulnerable thing you could do is sleep, poop, and eat, right? So it's like, while you're eating, you're in the most vulnerable position. Have you ever been told that when you go to a restaurant, you want to be facing the door?
Yeah. You want your back facing the door.
Right. You don't want to be caught feeling vulnerable while you're eating. So, but honestly, I would probably be happy dying eating, to be honest. But anyways, yeah. So I have to say that when you're talking, when you infuse it with affirmations, with love, when you say, I love you to your water, soon you'll be able to feel that yourself, especially if you don't have that confidence or anything like that. I think it's a really healthy way to start talking to your food and your water, because it grows. Like plants, they grow, right? There was an experiment that was done where if you were to talk to a plant in a bad way versus whether if you were to enforce positive affirmation on it, one grew beautifully and the other was like...
I'm studying that for decades.
Yeah, same thing with food, I swear. Like, yes, like the thing that Aaron was doing with the Big Mac, like, that's kind of not really how you're supposed to do it, but at the end of the day, like, he was so motivated and trying to be healthy, he put teamwork into that Big Mac. He put that energy of, like, you know what? I'm gonna...
It's the first step.
Yeah. Yes. And, he went to the bathroom after. So it's like, I mean, really good way, a good thing to know about your digestive system is that, if you go to the bathroom after you eat, that's a good way that your digestive system is working. I mean, not for people with... what is it called when people can't eat beans?
I know what you're talking about.
Bowel syndrome, something.
I was like IBS?
Yeah, IBS, syndrome? Yeah. This doesn't go for people like that, because some people have certain conditions and you have to go to the bathroom every time. But anyways, all I have to say is when you put good energy into the food, people feel good. And my business is about feeding the mind, body, and spirit. And so not only do you look good, feel good, but you also want to do good. So like I want to influence people with my food.
Speaking of doing good, can you speak on the ripple effect of kindness?
Yes, that was good. See, that was good. I like that transition. Man, so I feel like I was talking about this earlier about how we should all be more empathetic. I think kindness is really how we can change somebody's day. I experienced going to Publix the other day. I forgot what I was there for, but there was this guy who worked there and a younger guy also. The younger guy was probably on break. He was getting off of work. You could tell he was just thinking about himself. I mean, everyone is, but you could just tell that he was young by how he went about himself. And so, you know, he had his little Arizona tea in one hand and was walking to his car, and the old man, he had a cigarette in the other, getting out of his car. And the old man looked at the younger man and, you know, wanted to see if he could acknowledge him so that they could say hey, but the younger one was just too much in his head to really notice. And the old guy didn't really think much of it. It was like, okay, cool, right? Move on with your day. I'm smoking a cigarette. He finally finished, and he walked past my car, and I gave him, like, the biggest wave and smile. Rolled down my window and everything. And he just had the brightest look in his eye. And, like, I love having those interactions with people because I could tell, like, you could tell, like, after that interaction, he was walking differently. I saw him. He was walking inside, and there was a little pimp in his step. Like, he felt good. Like, man, I'm about to rock this shift. Like... Versus, like, when you have a bad mindset about, you know, life, you're not going to want to do things. Like, you're not going to want to do anything without having a problem with it. Versus if you were motivated and encouraged to do things, you're going to feel great about it. It's like, yeah, you work at Taco Bell, but it's like if you had a good team and a good shift manager or whatever, I'm pretty sure you're going to love your job. It all depends on the environment that you set. So if we all set the environment to where we all gave a little bit of kindness every day, then the world would be a better place. And I feel like anybody can agree with that. Whether that's giving the guy on the street a meal to eat, you know? Buying people socks. Like, normalize buying people socks. Like, you know when you were growing up and you got gifted in your stockings, like, socks, and you were like, I don't really need this.
Yeah,
Yo.
We need that.
We do!
I've been preaching this ever since I've been an adult. Yeah, like... Every adult understands what you're gonna say, and yes, the essential shit you don't understand that you need it when you're a child because it's all about what you want. What you want. Because you already have what you need for the most part.
Yes.
So when it gets to the point where it's about what you need, yes, anyone that's willing to aid in what you need and to make that easier because that becomes your priority, definitely is more appreciated.
Oh my God, that is love right there. Like, I cry. Like, my mom gifted me a pair of socks last month.
For sure.
That was, like, the favorite part of my day, like, when I saw those socks. Because white socks, look, I don't like wearing shoes outside, but I like to wear shoes inside. So, like, I don't know why I'm weird like that. So, it's the texture thing. I don't know, like the hardwood flooring. I don't know. But I like concrete, I like grass. So, I tend to walk barefoot. But a lot of the times I forget to take off my socks. So, like, my white socks, they get dirty quick. So, it's like, you know, you can bleach them so many times, but then there's just, like, dingy look on them. So, anyways, when she gifted me these socks, I was like, man, I appreciate you so much. Like,
especially if you got not parents, but if you got family members that like, shit, give us, it's like, yo, I would love it if you give me underwear. I would love it if you give me socks, t-shirts, this essential shit. You know what I'm saying?
It really matters.
Because and another thing, when you are an adult, you're gonna, for the most part, if you're doing well for yourself, you tend to already have everything that you want. So it's like, I don't really want much of anything that I didn't already get myself or I can't get myself. If you can't get it, it's cool, but I'm not asking for anything that I want. I can get my shit. But as far as, help me out for some essential shit.
Normalize gifting people what they need instead of what they... Especially Christmas, you know, Christmas season, that's not coming around, but just a reminder, y'all, like, give people things that they can actually use. Be useful.
Just don't waste your money.
Yeah.
Waste your money. If you are going to spend your money, you spend it wisely.
I was gonna hold on. Sorry.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. One more thing. I was gonna say that, along with, you know, being kind, I was gonna say that. Okay.
I mean, hey.
How am I going to interrupt you and then I forget?
I'm trying to finish it in. We all at 2 hours now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say, along with being kind, is that, like,
the ripple effect.
If okay. think of this. You know the pay it forward?
I was just gonna say you pay it forward to the next one.
Right,
Pay it forward was in my mind.
So I was in the drive-thru the other
I
day.
hate that movie.
And
So ass and unrealistic.
it actually happened though. I was in the drive-thru and I told the person in the microphone, I was like, "Hey, so the people behind me, that's my cousin. He said they were gonna pay for me." They never said that. I don't even know these people, but I wanted to do an experiment to see if they were actually gonna pay it. We get up there, and I'm like, they're handing me the food, and the guy actually paid for my food, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." So then I was like, "All right, wait, let me pay for the guy behind
He
me."
probably didn't even notice. He probably got home and was like, "What the fuck, Taco Bell? For 2 chalupas?" And here you go. Experiment work. This man over here calling his bank.
He agreed to it.
Oh man.
Because I told them, I was like, tell them. So like they laughed at it because they're like, I don't know that person, but I'll pay for their food. And it was really cool. But like, I don't know, like it's crazy because it's like the things that I need, I have a hard time investing into myself. Like for a while, I was really like stingy on investing into my business because I was like, man, this is gonna cost so much money. But it's like investing into yourself is the best gift that you can give yourself. And so if you have people investing into you, you want to hold on to those people. Whether that's a stranger on the street or anything like that, you really want to treat them with care because those are the people that see you. And even if they don't see you, they feel you because they are a human. So people who are empathetic can give back. Like hold on to those people, check in on those people because most of the time people like that are givers and they don't really exactly receive too often.
Couple questions, couple subjects before we get out of here. Cause I want you to talk. I would love to talk forever, but when it comes to the whole, like I say, I edit everything too. And past a certain point, this is a bitch to edit. I promise you.
Okay. Let me chill out.
But you're fine. You're fine. It's great. It's great. I would have loved to section it out, but I have a couple more subjects. Can you give me an example of your best catering experience? I usually do best and worst. Give me the best. Your best catering experience. If you can think about the worst, then do both.
Okay. It had to be in December. This was kind of small. It was like a conference meeting. Mm-hmm. They wanted like finger foods and whatnot, like sandwiches and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I say it was the best one because at this time I was still trying to develop some relationships where people could actually help me out because I do this all myself. And so I remember, oh my God. This was actually November, but this is so cool. His name is Charlie. So this kind of also contradicts, I'm going to say two things. Being autistic is a contradicting experience, I tell you right now, because, you're going to do the opposite of what you say. You're going to say the opposite of what you do. It's kind of crazy. Ideologies and everything. But I have to say this because I met Charlie at the grocery store, and it was dangerous because I didn't know this guy, and he was pushing 70. But he helped me out, and this wasn't catering, but this was an event that I did, the first one, Grill and Groove, if that's okay. Okay, cool. So I met Charlie when I really needed a lot of help. So I had the conference, but I'm going to scratch that because this is a better story. Okay, so I was actually crying in the car because I went to I went to Sam's Club an hour and 30 minutes before closing, right? Don't know why I did that, but was like, we're going to do it. Like, we're going to get this in, knowing that it takes me a while to do tasks, okay? So that's why I like to plan in advance, because I know it's going to take me a little bit. So I'm in the groceries, like, I'm just grocery shopping. They're closing, and I finally get to the checkout when they're closing. This poor lady, she was new. It was a new employee, and she was, she was scanning it pretty slow, too, because she's new. So, no problem. Cool, you guys are closing. I have grace, whatever. So, we get to it to where I'm like, do y'all accept Apple Pay? And she's like, no, we only do card. I'm like, damn, I left my wallet in the car. My car is filled with a whole bunch of decorations for the event. And I'm like, yo, I don't even know where I left my wallet. I usually do Apple Pay. Here's the thing. Why do you leave your wallet in the car? I don't do that anymore, swear. But, like, I used to do that because, like, when you're a suburban kid, you usually don't care about anything. But, like, anyways, left the wallet in the car. And, man, I was like, okay, I gotta go get it. I go in there, and then there's this lady, and she has this whole big thing of just food. And she's like, can you help me push this in my car? And I'm like, I gotta get my stuff, right? So I'm like, all right, let me help you push it to a car. I didn't even know I was that strong, but I was like, room, like in like literally 30 seconds, we're to her car, and she was pretty far out, but like, I don't know, that was pretty cool. But anyways, then I went to my car, and now I gotta find the wallet, right? So now it took time for me to go to this woman's car to put her groceries in her car. Now I gotta go to my car. So, man, like that took at least 5 minutes. So I'm already holding up these employees' time. People have families. People need to go home. It's late. So I couldn't find it, and I'm like, fuck, like what the hell is gonna happen? I need to pay for this food. My phone was at 1%. So, like, I go back inside, and they're like, actually, you can self-scan it, but you have to do the whole scanning process all over again. And I'm like, my phone's at 1%. So they're like, the woman's trying to help me, and we're like, beep, 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 beep. She's like firing them things. She had that gun. She was like, da, 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 right? With my phone. It died. We only got to scan, like, 20 of them, and there was, like, 40 items in that cart. So I'm like, I'm crying. Like, at this point, I just explode because, like...
And they about to close.
They did. They already closed.
Oh,
they already closed. So I was just crying. I was like, look, I'm sorry. This is like, I'm new to this. I don't have any help. Please just like, please help me out. Like, do y'all have a charger? The manager gave me his charger. So I'm sitting there like sniffling, waiting for my phone to charge so I can get these groceries in my car. And so keep in mind, I already have stuff in my car, so I don't even know how I fit it in there, but I did. So like, and it took me at least 20 minutes to get everything in my car. But anyways, so I cried. So then I still had to go to Walmart.
Question. Is this all in your best experience or worst experience?
Best.
Okay.
The story is coming.
Okay,
like,
okay.
it's already, the plot is coming. Okay, the conclusion will be here in a second.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that I had to go to Walmart. So I went to Walmart and I met Charlie. And I was already like, there's already tears in my eye from what happened at Sam's Club. So like, I'm already tired. And so Charlie was like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, you know, not too good. But he's like, can I pray for you? And I was like, what the hell, why not? So he prays for me, and I just feel it. Like, I just feel it in my soul that this person was like someone I needed help. Because, excuse me, I remember I was in the car and I was praying. I was like, please, you know, please, God, help me. However, whatever that is, please help me, because I need help. So he prayed for me, and then we talked, and I told him I was, you know, doing an event, and I told him he should show up, and that food was $15. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to advertise my event. Should it have been to him necessarily? Maybe not. I mean, I'm a woman alone, so it's one of those things where it's a little bit tricky when you're trying to advertise your stuff out there, because you don't know who's watching and who's trying to do stuff. So, but anyways, it was a good experience. So I invited him, and my dad was helping me out with the event anyway, so I invited him because my dad was going to be there. So if anything wrong happened, I had a security guard. But anyways, so he was like, actually, just let me help you with your event, whatever that is. So I was like, yeah, I could use some volunteers. And so he actually went out on a last minute run to grab potato salad because I had ran out of rice. My rice cooker actually broke during the event, so that was tough because the electricity went out. But anyways, so he actually gave me potato salad, and I appreciate him for that. But I remember the whole time when I was stressed, he would just like, you know, he would tell me, he's like, you're doing great, and he would just like motivate me throughout the way. And he did this like, he didn't expect any payment. He just did it at the good, like the kindness of his heart. Like he had nothing on him. He had broccolini in one hand, and that was all he had at the grocery store. No wallet, no purse, just simple guy, jeans, black t-shirt, like a very nice guy. And so I will always remember Charlie. Because, I mean, yes, he was walking around the whole event telling people about Jesus Christ. Amazing, cool. And at the end of it, I think he told my dad and myself that he was married to Angelina Jolie, and that's when we figured out that this guy wasn't exactly right in the mind. So my dad looked at me like, wow, you're really out here with strays.
So
and
Charlie
like,
made this the best experience?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, like, and that just brings to, like, mental health. Like, I didn't even get into mental health, but I did with being disabled. But I have to say that, like, yeah, but I have to say that, like, Charlie was mentally disabled, but, like, he honestly was the best thing about that whole experience, because he might have had something going on in here, but his heart spoke so much truth.
Still be an angel.
Yeah, he was my guardian angel, and I will always remember Charlie. So thank you, Charlie.
All right. One more. So we spoke on, well, do you want to give your worst, or is that another 30 minutes?
That was the best and the worst.
Okay. yeah, kind of. Random. I just kind of touched on it earlier when you said that when you spoke on the shoot. I wanted to have like a conversation and like segue that into a question. But fill in this blank. I wish I was born in the blank decade. So like the 90s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Like which decade did you wish you were born in?
Okay. I wish I was born in the 80s.
I knew you were gonna say that because the 80s is dope. Everyone wished they were born in the 80s. And the fuck, and our parents, and I was raised by people that grew up in the 80s.
Me
so
too.
so yeah, so we love the 80s too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nostalgic to us. But no.
Yeah, the all the way down to the clothes, to, you know, the rave scenery, like all of that. I feel like it's definitely it influenced my personality in a way. Like I used to.
I feel like the 80s been back for like the past 15 years, in my opinion, like 10 years.
It's always trending. It's always trending. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like I relate to it because I really believe I have a past life in the 80s. I was told by a palm reader, and by my Akashic record reader. Shout out to Paige. Oh my gosh, she's amazing, y'all. Paige's Perception, I think so, on Instagram. Look her up. She does so much healing work. It's insane. But anyway, she gave me my Akashic record reading. She told me something about the 80s. There was something about my past life where there was a woman in her 80s, and that was one of my past life. And how she has influenced me today is kind of crazy, and that's why I always felt called to that decade, because all the way down to the hair, to the personality, to the way that I move and talk, I feel like I represent this timeless energy about me. I don't know what it is. So,
and aside from like the crack and the drugs and shit, but people actually smiled with each other then and actually enjoyed each other's time and company and just danced with each other.
I mean, he was there. I wasn't. So.
I was not there. Oh,
wait, how old are you?
I was there. I wasn't there. I'm not little. I was born in '94.
Oh, you're young.
I said I grew up.
You did say that.
The people that birthed me, that raised me, they grew up in the 80s and the 70s.
You did say that.
So yes. So my nostalgia is what they shared because I had listened to what they listened to. I didn't get there was no aux cord.
28, 29, yeah?
I'm 30.
Okay, you're young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm raised by older people, so I give off older. So, how old do you think I was? Damn.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But
No,
that's
I'm
cool.
gonna say 24. What? I'm kidding. It was actually older. It was like 40s, around the 40s, yeah.
Okay.
It's the height. It's the height. It's also like the. I don't know. I feel like older people are like.
I get it, but I get it, but yeah, it's funny. But I get it.
The nonchalantness, I think so.
I've lived.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, but no. Do you have any shout outs?
If not already, shout out to Cyril of Pensacola. That's his Instagram. He makes amazing art. He helped me in my Grill and Groove event when I was really needing it because I thought I could do everything myself. Amazing person. I have to say shout out to my mom and dad, like I said. Shout out to so she goes by Woo La 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 on Instagram. She does interviews. She interviews people that influence the world in positive ways. Amazing person. She interviewed me last year when I did my jazzercise class where I wore like the cool one piece. It was 80s wear. So yeah, she interviewed me for that, and she's been doing good ever since. She's interviewed some amazing minds that I've had the honor to watch. So shout out to her for being able to, be a beacon in the community for people to have a voice, just like this sir right here. Because I have to support the Black businesses. I just have to. Like, I love Black people so much. So thank you for having me on this show.
It's been a pleasure having you. Ladies, the time is now. This is the lunch table. You had your boy Savo in the building. Special guest, please tell the people who you are one last time.
Selena Rubino, y'all. It's actually good. Here is, if you guys can see it. Go by It's Actually Good _ on Instagram. I think that's all really the information y'all need, and everything's in my link tree. So tune in for Spectrum and Spice coming up. And if y'all need any food, holla at your girl, because I got you. I can pray over it as well. So thank you so much for having me.
And please pray over me in this editing process, because this has got like 50 clips. This is about 2 hours. But nah, man, we out. Peace!
Bye!
How was that?
Amazing.
Okay, cool. You was all worried and shit.
No way, you're 30.